good afternoon to you, Kelvin. Now talk us through the market performance in today's trading session. Seeing the NSE coming under pressure in today's trading session, what were the major drivers?
Major downloads, you see that most foreigners today were buying actually the stocks, so that's why you see that there was a high turnover, yes, but the local participation was minimal. That's why you see the NSE going down from its previous figure of 39.59 of yesterday. And losing stocks, you see KQ was the biggest loser, and we had Standard Group gaining marginally.
We did have some gains coming through from the likes of Sasini, up about 4%, and British American Investments up 2.36%. Talk us through the gains that we saw coming through Sasini. Is there some sort of fundamental move on that front?
Sasini basically can be attributed to the high coffee and tea prices that we see in the market currently. So most investors actually attracted to the stock on account of high revenues generated from the high tea prices currently being enjoyed in the market.
Now we know that Olympia Capital has replaced its chief executive. That's really in a move of a turnaround plan at Olympia Capital. We have a new CEO coming in. Do we know much about this new CEO, and is he the right man for the job?
The info on the new CEO is kind of scanty, but the new CEO, Mr. Kenneth Karithi, was previously a CEO at Mother and Platt, which basically deals with vinyl floors and fire engines and mechanical engineering in the East African region. So basically that would put Olympia Capital at a good position to expand in that business continentally and also East Africa, because you see they have a 51% stake in Mother and Platt, and having a person from there would enable them consolidate on their businesses in the continent. And yes, it would boost the stock because that will be expansion in the business of the fire engines and mechanical engineering in the region.
Looking at their peers, we've got TransCentury as well as Centum Investments, and then we've got Olympia Capital. Where would you be putting your money in right now?
I think a stock to buy right now would be Olympia, basically because it's expanding. Looking at its Southern African business, it has Kalahari, which is part of its subsidiary. It's expanding into South Africa. Kalahari primarily deals with vinyl and tile floors. It also is planning to expand to Zimbabwe, and with also the construction business booming right now in South Sudan, it's planning to use Mother and Platt as a gateway to South Sudan. So basically, Olympia Capital would be a right stock among the three that you've mentioned.
We had Longhorn Publishers out with results, swinging to a pre-tax loss of 25.9 million shillings. It was pretty expected, given the fact that the company did issue a profit warning. So where to from here for Longhorn Publishers?
Basically, if they did issue a profit warning immediately after listing, it should have been in the minds of the directors when they were listing. So basically, I think that was a wrong move. It was too soon to list. It looks like most of the publishing deals that they were expecting, or the distribution deals that they were expecting, didn't come through for this year. That's why you're seeing the dip in profits and the profit warnings.
And moving on to the fixed income market, the government 15-year bond, the results are out, oversubscribed like most analysts had expected. What did you make of those results?
On the fixed income market, you see we have a lot of hot money coming into the East African region, basically because of the quantitative easing in the US and the Eurozone crisis. So most investors are looking for viable ventures for their money where they would be able to earn high yields. And also with the central bank 350 basis point cut, we have a lot of liquidity into the market. So the central bank would have no choice but to enter the market to mop up. And the investors know this. That's why 89% of those bids that were submitted for the 15-year bond were competitive, and we expect this to rise going forward and be reflected in the 91-day Treasury bill and the 182 Treasury bill, which we did see gain marginally at to stop at levels of 9%.
Well, thanks for joining us. That was Kelvin Makori. He's a research analyst at Genghis Capital, joining us from our studios in Nairobi.